everybody. Just wanted to make sure that everyone understood what they needed to wear on this upcoming trip. And in addition, I wanted to thank everyone who's traveling. I'm so thrilled to be traveling with the people I love and the people I'm sure I will love at the end of the trip. It means so much to me that everyone is coming on this trip. I'm absolutely delighted. In general terms, Amsterdam is in late spring and Cape Town is in early winter. So they're both casual cities. You'll sort of need fleeces for the mornings and fleeces for the evenings, long trousers. They can be khakis, they can be safari pants. Doesn't matter at all as long as they're thin. Good comfortable walking shoes. Nothing needs to be terribly good looking as long as it's comfortable. Those same shoes will serve you very, very well on safari toward the end of the trip. We're not doing anything that is particularly formal. All the restaurants that I've organized, all the day touring that I've organized is all going to be really very casual. And anyone traveling in Africa understands that most people are there as tourists and doing some sort of safari, so bush clothes and anything that looks like bush clothing is actually very acceptable. But as you can see, with just a pair of, fairly normal safari trousers, but these could be khakis, and a golf shirt of some sort and a fleece, honestly, I look perfectly fine for the evenings. The important part of this trip to understand, and in terms of what to wear and what to pack, is light layers that you can peel up and peel down as the mornings, afternoons, and evenings kind of wear on. When we're in Cape Town, we'll be going out when it's warm enough in the morning to know what the rest of the day is going to be like. But on safari, we leave early in the morning on the game drives, and so for that reason, you will definitely need at least a fleece going out in the morning, and you will probably need a jacket. If you calculate that we are leaving in the morning when it's sort of dewy and the breeze is blowing and we're not quite warmed up ourselves, you can see very quickly that you're going to need some sort of thin jacket over top a fleece and sort of a golf shirt or t-shirt of some sort, and that'll be perfectly fine. Might want to have that zipped up. You don't want the wind sort of whistling down by your belly button at some point 5 minutes out in the vehicle. And just to kind of further illustrate, when we leave the lodge in the morning on the game drive vehicle, we will have been awakened at 5 o'clock in the morning with the kind of notion that you throw on a baseball cap, you put your things on quickly, you go out to the fire, you either have coffee or tea there or it's delivered to your room, something like that, whatever it is that you've told them you'd like to drink in the morning. We hop on the game drive vehicle at about 5:30 in the morning, but then we're in a very open, exposed vehicle, moving quickly with the sort of the dampness and the dewiness and the breeze in the morning, and the sun's not quite up yet, because we're moving to further reaches of the reserve, away from the development, the relative development of a lodge. So we're moving quickly, and in those kind of 20 to 30 minutes as you're moving away from the lodge, it can be really chilly. So you're going to need something like this. In addition, it might be nice to have just a thin pair of gloves. These are fleece gloves. They're absolutely perfect. Just stick them in the pockets of your jacket, because if you're in a situation where you need your jacket, you're going to need your gloves as well. So just have them in there and ready. You might want to, for the morning game drives, a thin sort of stocking cap type of thing, just to slip over your head. Then as the later part of the morning comes on the game drive, you might want sort of a hat with a brim when the sun starts to kind of shine down on us. All of these things can be tucked in kind of a tote bag of some sort, or just a large, the canvas shopping bags you take to the supermarket, that sort of thing. Whatever it is, might be nice to have on the game drive vehicle. They do have pouches on the game drive vehicle, so it doesn't matter if you do or don't have that bag. You have places to stick things. It's also a good place to put your camera, and a very good place to put your binoculars, which are essential. But the binoculars are not essential for seeing the wildlife. We're going to be very close to the wildlife. The binoculars are more for things like birds or things up in trees, or the super hard to spot wildlife, and the smaller things like bush babies and meerkat and all of that. So it is nice to have the binoculars. Okay. In addition to all of those things, this, which is the local brand of mosquito repellent in all of Southern Africa, it's called Peaceful Sleep, will be on the vehicle. Our ranger will have a can of it. It'll be in the lodge. It'll be in our rooms. There's no need to take it. It's better than what we have, and it's there for everyone to use. Standard issue in all Southern African safari lodges. About midway through the morning game drive, we're going to stop, get out, open up a table. The ranger will have teas and coffees or whatever we will have stipulated in advance that we're going to have to drink in the morning game drive. We're going to have a little light refreshment, then get back on the game drive vehicle, 2 more hours, and then by about 9:30 we're back at the lodge. We'll have a big breakfast, then it's sort of siesta, and then we can either read a book by the pool or just hang around the lodge, enjoy our time there. There's normally internet, they might have satellite TV, whatever it is, that's our leisure time for the day. Most people take showers then. And then we have either a lunch or a high tea that has both savory and sweet, and then we go out for our evening game drive at about 4:30. Now, at that time of the day, you're not going to want a jacket, so this will be in your little tote bag. You'll just have your first or second layers, potentially. At that time of day, you'll get on the game drive vehicle with this hat, and you may graduate to the stocking cap later on in the game drive when the sun goes down. And at that point, you may want the gloves again. So, for all those reasons, those are good things to have in a tote bag with you, in the seat beside you, between the person who's sitting next to you, ready to pull out when you need them. So the guiding principle of how to dress on safari and in Africa in general, and this is a good principle for Amsterdam as well, is thin layers that you can peel up and peel down as you need them. Nothing woolly, nothing heavier than this, just thin multiple layers up and down throughout the day as you need them. You don't even really need socks. In terms of shoes, just anything that's comfortable, that you're happy to walk in all day. Crocs are fine. I have clogs on at the moment. Whatever it is that you can wear throughout the day that has just a little bit of tread that will get you onto and off the vehicle, that's all you need that shoe for. It's also a good idea if you're at the end of a pair of shoes that would be okay on safari, take them down, leave them there. In fact, leave as much clothing as you can, for 2 reasons. It's useful there to the people locally, but it's also a nice way to make space in your suitcase, because trust me, you're going to want to shop. There are beautiful things to buy in South Africa. So I think that's pretty much the guiding principle, and that's all you need. Take your pajamas, take your bathing suit, all the rest of the things that you minimally need, say, for a weekend away, because in a sense you can have everything laundered at the lodge. So by the time we get to the lodge, you might be through your first sort of cycle of clothing, and then you can have it done there. Because if you think about it, most people that go on safari, on the types of trips where you're taking light aircraft around to various lodges, they can only travel with 26 pounds. We actually have a proper baggage limit because we're on normal jets going through, throughout from Europe down to South Africa and around South Africa. So we've got plenty of space, and laundry is done for us in the lodges. So take my advice, please don't pack too much, because you're going to want to shop and you won't want the burden of really having too much with you in any case. So I think that's it for now. You can scroll back through the video, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to call me. But in any case, I very much look forward to seeing everyone in a few weeks, and we're going to have a great time and going back to Mother Africa. Thanks a million, Davey, for hosting this party. You're my brother from another mother. Do you think that was believable? Do you think they'll actually think I flew down to South Africa to make a little video? Doesn't matter.